Hotels, take one. The other day, my wife and I were staying in a very, very nice hotel, you see. Oh, we'd had a lovely evening meal and a bottle of wine. We went back to our room, you know, and I was in the bathroom, as you do, you know. And I noticed on the bathroom wall there was a sticker, you see. And on this sticker it said, if you've forgotten any essential items, please contact reception and they should be able to help you, you see. And I thought, that's clever, that's very good. So I phoned reception and I spoke to the lady on reception. I said, excuse me, I've seen your notice about essential items, and it appears that my wife has failed to pack any items of provocative underwear. And the lady was very, very helpful. She asked me what colour I preferred, what design, what style. You know, she couldn't have been more helpful, you see. Anyway, I'd been on the phone for about 45 minutes with this young lady, and I turned around, and my wife was fast asleep. The other day I was talking to my friend Nobby, not his real name, and I was giving him my opinions on very, very important matters, you know, to educate him and try and make him a generally wiser and better person. And then he turned round to me and he said, "You're nuts." And I said, "What about them?" And he said, no. He said, no. He said, no, not you're as in, you know, possessive pronoun. You're as in contraction of you are. You see, you are nuts. And I said, oh, I thought you were referencing my testicles. You know, and then he said, why would I reference your testicles? And I said, well, it's not my fault if you go around referencing my testicles. It's not for me to explain your motivation. And he said, I wouldn't reference your testicles. In fact, he said, if I had a list of things to randomly reference, you see, your testicles would be so low on that list that if I was to handwrite it on a long piece of paper and hold the top of it in my hands like thus, the sheet of paper would fall so far that in order to let it hang down its full length, I would need to dig a hole that would be so deep it would come out of the other side of the earth in Australia. So I said, right, so in your world of referencing, you envisage my testicles appearing out of the earth in Australia? And he said, yes. And I said, wouldn't that frighten the sheep? And he thought about this for a minute, and he said, well, it would frighten the sheep if it came out on a sheep ranch. But if it came out on a cattle ranch, I don't feel the cows would be quite as alarmed as the sheep would. Because cows are a bit more kind of laid back and calm, you know, even when presented with gonads that pop out of the world. I then also considered, you see, that although Australia is mostly agricultural land, or desert, or scrub, or, you know, there are parts of it that are, you know, largely urban, you see. So there is a small chance that my nuts will pop out of the ground somewhere in a built-up area, you see. Like Sydney, or Melbourne, you know. So it could be that, say, at the Sydney Opera House, where they're doing Don Giovanni, in the final scene, Don Giovanni would be descending into hell on the one hand, at the same time as my Nadgers pops out of the stage at the same time, you see. Thus creating sort of dramatic juxtaposition of up and down. Similarly, they might pop out of the pitch at the Melbourne cricket ground, you see, which could be alarming for the batsman. In fact, I feel David Warner would be deeply upset by this and probably start attacking them with his bat, you see. Whereas Steve Smith, you know, wouldn't even bat an eyelid and would just gently prod them down and carry on with his batting, you see. I did point out to my friend Nobby Nibbler that if I was going to visit Australia, I'd like to go, head first or feet first, and all of me be there at the same time, preferably by aeroplane. My friend Nobby Nibbler, not his real name, is a complete moron, you see. He was talking about Chepstow because sometime during that week he'd driven his car past Chepstow. He said, "Oh, I've driven past Chepstow." I said, "That's very exciting for you." He said, "Well, actually it was." He said, "Because I've been to Chepstow, to see the arse racing." I said, "Arse racing? Is that a thing?" And then he said, "You should check it out. After all, it's always been your ambition to be an Olympic champion." I ignored this and quizzed him further about Chepstow, you see. I said, "When you went to Chepstow, do you mean you saw horse racing?" He said, "Yes, that's it. I saw the Cheltenham Festival." And I said, "No, you fool. You don't go to Chepstow to see the Cheltenham Festival. You go to Cheltenham to see the Cheltenham Festival, not Chepstow. What you get in Chepstow will be the Chepstow Festival. Because clearly they name the festivals after the horse racing venue where the festival takes place. You are an utter moron." To which he said, "Right, I have been to the York Festival, but I forget the name. What's it called, Hugo?" I told him to sod off